the mornings are always beautiful. The only drawback is that it comes at such an inconvenient time of the day. You know, it's like 6 a.m. But it's always beautiful all the same, especially with Emem smiling at y'all from the camera. It's bright and early, and we are so glad to be here with you bright and early.
Yeah, don't you just like my smile?
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than this? Waking up to this in the morning.
Look at that outfit. Hey!
Don't try also. I'm telling you, we are the bad gang. The $1 billion gang.
Yeah, $1 billion gang coming to you live from the TVC studios right here in Lagos. And of course, we do everything we can to get you out of bed on the right side of the bed every single day of the week. Now, we're wishing you a warm welcome. This is your numero uno breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. We're here to ensure that you have a fabulous start to this Wednesday. And well, there's quite a lot that we've prepared for you today. Thank you so much for making the right choice and sticking with TVC. It's a 3-hour journey and every minute counts. This show is going to be worth your while, so don't go anywhere. Now that we know people are out and about in different parts of the country, please make sure you do not let your guard down. In fact, your guard should be up. Your shield should be down right now, because the numbers are climbing, people. All the health guidelines, wash your hands, wear your masks, keep a social, physical distance from people. They are all especially more important right now. My name is Titi Oyinsan. And well, hey, you can stream this show live on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook live at TVC Connect. You can also send in those comments with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC for all the social media handles. So many exciting episodes have passed, and you probably missed them, but not to worry. YouTube is always there for you to go back to. Subscribe, click that bell so you can get notifications. And hey, our YouTube channel is TVC Entertainment, and you will be entertained. We also have something great on Fridays coming up for people that want to have a little bit extra. Wake Up Extra is on by 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's on Instagram Live. So people just couldn't wrap their head around some things she was saying.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I remember there's something she said that actually stuck. Don't marry that man if he loves his mother too much, and if he doesn't love his mother
Enough.
Yeah. Yes, so that stuck with me.
You have to look at the way, in my opinion, the way a man treats his family, his loved ones.
Yes, very important.
Now, if you note that he is aloof, there are probably some reasons for it, and you should probably find out why.
Yes.
And figure out if, you know, for instance, you were in the same situation, what would happen. Now, there are just so many little things come up, and you wonder why people's emotions or attitude towards their spouses change. But it might not actually have been a change. It was probably just always something that was going to come up down the line.
And then she also mentioned that don't marry that man if he's unstable. I remember that one.
So that unstable part is odd, though.
That brings to mind some conversation I had with a colleague last week, and it had to do with marrying a financially unstable man, a man who's not financially buoyant enough. Is it okay to marry a man that's not financially stable?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I remember, I think I mentioned it on the show before.
Yeah.
A friend of mine found a guy, financially stable, works at an oil company, had staff house, beautiful car. He had been working for about 10 years. And about 2 weeks after the wedding,
he lost his job.
Yeah. So this is someone who had, you know, a long time of consistency, and then suddenly, boom, he himself was shook. He didn't even know how to handle it himself. He didn't have a side hustle as such.
So I'm not a marriage expert in any way, but what I always tell people is try to look out for the potentials in your intending partner. You know, look out for the potentials, because there are certain men that they may not have it now, but they have dreams, not just dreams, because it's okay to have dreams, and then you're not walking
let's change
towards
that
it.
word. Let's say plans.
Okay,
they have plans
or goals. Do you
That's
understand?
better.
And then they are working actively towards it, not just sitting down and just waiting for some manna to fall from heaven. It's not going to fall, baby. You have to go out there and hustle.
So, you know, there are so many different versions to that same story. But the truth is, I think in 2020, things have to change. Maybe they haven't changed yet for a lot of people, but it has to change now. That mindset has to change, because this lockdown period is going to reveal a lot of things for a lot of people.
And it did. It actually did.
It's about time for me to take the news update at this point, and the Nigeria Police Force has reacted to reports suggesting that it has sealed off the premises of the APC Secretariat in Abuja. In a press release made available to TVC News, the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Frank Mba, confirmed that personnel have been deployed as a proactive measure aimed at maintaining law and order at the Secretariat. By this, he says members of the APC and staff of the Secretariat are at liberty to conduct their legitimate businesses in and around the building. Politicians in Edo State have had a busy day in court as the PDP counts down to its primary on Thursday. First, an Edo State High Court in Ekpoma restrained the People's Democratic Party and INEC from excluding any of the aspirants who have been screened and cleared by the party from participating in the gubernatorial primary. Justice Joy Okayane specifically ordered the PDP and INEC to recognize Governor Godwin Obaseki as lawful aspirant, having been lawfully screened and cleared by the party. This order is pending the hearing of the motion on notice. With this order of the court, Governor Obaseki has been given the legal pass to participate in the primary. Earlier, a federal high court in Port Harcourt granted a request for an accelerated hearing of the suit seeking to bar Governor Godwin Obaseki from participating in the governorship primary. Ovieteme George reports.
The withdrawal of Gideon Ihine from the race for the governorship ticket of the People's Democratic Party was a morale booster to the camp of Governor Godwin Obaseki, who is seeking re-election in the platform of his new party. However, a restraining order from a federal high court in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, threatened to put a nail in the works, but a High Court of Justice in Ekpoma Judicial Division has restrained the People's Democratic Party, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and others from removing Governor Godwin Obaseki, who had already been cleared for the party primary.
It's pure politics, you know, it's to be expected. Everybody's contending for the position. There's a level playing field. So some people will go to court, some people will take certain decisions. But I believe that in the end, you know, people will come together, negotiate, come to agreements, and then the party will move forward.
Give me your votes, make me the chairman of this party, and I will get you to Government House. That was what I told all the delegates I went to in all the 18 local governments of Edo State before the Congress that brought me in. And even without an election, I've already delivered on my side by taking the party back to Government House.
Tony Azegbemi reaffirms the neutral stance of the party for the governorship primary in Edo, but Crusoe Osage believes Godwin Obaseki is the best man for the job.
Anybody that emerges on the 25th of June as a governorship candidate will clearly walk back into Government House. So it was a misnomer for Edo to have gone the way it went in 2008. So we're back to where we are supposed to be, and we're happy about that.
2 out of 3 senators in the state, South and Central. We have all the commissioners, all the special advisors. We have all the House of Assembly members, all the local government chairmen and their deputies. We have virtually, you know, the entire structure that we used to have in the APC, now moving to the PDP, which already had an established structure before. It's a victory. In this case, we believe that Governor Godwin Obaseki will be that candidate.
The movement of Governor Godwin Obaseki to the PDP has altered the status quo here at the Osadebe Avenue, and the party is confident of scaling the legal hurdle to be in good stead for a positive run on the 19th of September when the governorship election would be conducted in Edo State. Ovietime George, TVC News, Benin.
And as Governor Obaseki awaits his fate, there's yet another twist to the developments in the PDP. His counterpart, Governor Nyesom Wike, has pulled out of the effort to reconcile contending aspirants. Speaking on the matter, Governor Wike said rather than considering the interests of all stakeholders, the party's National Working Committee has chosen to blackmail him. He denied responsibility for an order obtained from a federal high court in Port Harcourt affecting the conduct of the PDP governorship primaries in Edo State. Governor Wike also warned of the possibility of major crisis in the party, similar to that of the All Progressives Congress.
Federal High Court is it's not River State High Court. Even if it's River State High Court, like people will say, he have no control over them. They are judges. They now said, because they came to River State and got a Federal High Court River State and got an order, therefore I'm aware. But they also forgot that the governor of Edo State, Obaseki, they came to here, Federal High Court here. When they were fighting with the Chimney about the House of Assembly matter, they got an order. Are you saying that I was the one who was responsible? And with this, I can no longer participate.
And that's it on the news update for this hour. We're going to be taking a quick break and we'll be back with sports. Stay with us. The discos. Okay, it seems like I've lost the page, so let me try and reload it there. Emem, maybe take
Okay, so I'll just take the Punch newspaper while you're fixing that.
Yeah.
All right, so on the Punch newspaper this morning, we have more drama as police occupy APC office. NWC battles Gadem over NEC. Buhari's approval to convene NEC meeting, says suspended secretary. You are on suspension, can't convene NEC. NWC wants Embattled Chieftain. And also, I have decided to sit and watch developments as they unfold, says Amici. And you can find all of that on page 2. And at the top here, we have experts back Buhari as president folds ECOWAS single currency. And that's on page 26. Killer soldiers deliberately gunned down IRT policemen to free Wadume. And that's Hamisu's kinsman. You can find that on page 7. Fear grows as hospitals release COVID-19 test results in 2 weeks. Lagos turnaround time for coronavirus results has improved, says commissioner. And below here we have court suspends demotion of 75 Coronet Obas appointed by Amosun. Also here we have protesters storm EFCC office, demand Obasa's probe. And you can find that on page 8. Also here we have Akeredolu plans to remove me illegally. Deputy Governor alleges. Also here we have demolition. Reps fault Onyema, urge retaliation against Ghana. And that's on page 9. Generator fumes kill 2 hairdressers in Lagos. That's a sad one there. And also, finally, here we have Oyo postpones school reopening to July 6th. And you can find that on the cover of the Punch newspapers.
Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can take Business Day once again. And just in case you missed it before, the major headline is Nigeria's foreign reserves face further strain. States give federal government control over their discos, shares, and the trouble is getting it back. It also says here 397 billion naira debt. AMCON says it did not order demolition of Ikoyi property. Federal government sees hope for economic recovery of mass housing, roads, construction post COVID-19. And yeah, that's what we have on the cover of this day. Now, there's something I appreciate about this day, Business Day newspaper. It gives you a market monitor right there at the top. And yeah, it gives you all the information you need about everything from the NSC,
Nigeria Stock Exchange.
Stock Exchange, yes, of course. And then FMDQ and even the Bitcoin price.
Interesting.
Everything's changing. Let's see if I have another paper here. I have the Daily Trust.
Okay.
Let me take that one now. It says on the cover of the Daily Trust, police rescue 126 laborers at Kano rice factory. Over 300 of us were locked for nearly 3 months. How we stormed the building, police commissioner says here. Owners of company not our members, rice processors say there. How Buhari whittled down governor's powers. Page 6 has more on that. And yeah, Emem, I think that's your cue.
We have to go on a break now.
Okay.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, the rains are here. But, well, it's not raining today. But you have to be extremely careful with how you manage your movement. And that's why we are here to ensure that you get to your intended destination on time, safe and sound. And I'll be giving you the traffic updates if you are on your way out of Ikorodu. You know, people, I got you. Yes. So, man, the Ikorodu. The traffic, on the Ikorodu axis this morning is doing press up. This is not even a joke. I mean, it is a bumper-to-bumper traffic on the Ikorodu axis this morning. If you're making your way out of Ikorodu and you're currently at the roundabout right now, making your way out of Ikorodu, there's terrible traffic. And, I mean, there are pockets of traffic here and there, but it is relatively tight. And this is all the way out. And if you get to Ogolonto area, it lightens up a bit. And there's a light traffic all the way. So there are pockets of traffic here and there. It's light and then it's tight and then it's not till you get to Owode Onirin. The traffic there at this moment isn't smiling at all. And whilst you're still approaching mile 12, wow, guys, please, if you're on that route, brace up because the traffic there isn't smiling at all. I don't know if Titi has any traffic updates on social media that you'd like to update us with. Titi, any traffic update? None at all. All right, great. Okay, so yes, so all the way out of Ikorodu to K2, the traffic there is terrible. You know that that road is still undergoing construction. So please, you have to be patient and make sure your doors are locked just to be safe. And so let's.
I have some things I can mention here.
Okay.
There seems to be some traffic building around the Ojota corner, the corner that comes off the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I like, it's a corner, it's a turning, it's a turn off, it's a bypass. It's so many things at the same time. Okay. But it does seem to have some traffic there. So there's someone here suggesting that you go and take the alternative route. Now, the alternative route is basically to go through the second exit of Ojota if you're coming from Ibadan area heading towards the island. There's a second exit that will take you on a U-turn through Tipa, as if you're going to Ikorodu, and then climb back up
the bridge.
Yes, to re-enter Ikorodu Road from there. So it is an alternative route. Then there's a picture online here of a vehicle on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway by Airport Bus Stop. And this commercial vehicle is packed with 6 passengers per row.
Wow.
Filled to capacity, and even with people standing. And obviously this is all against the law now.
Exactly.
6 passengers per row with people standing, that is just unacceptable. You know, and the person tags Jide Sanwo-Olu here, tags NCDC, and tags Follow Lasma as well.
All right.
So that the picture, would be noticed. And it does seem alarming. That
all right. Thank you very much, Titi. Please, we need to take note that this period, it's important to, abide by the safety guidelines. Make sure you're using your face mask and you're observing physical distancing, people. All right. So quickly, if you're on your way to the island, you're lucky because the traffic on the Third Mainland, there's no traffic on Third Mainland Bridge, people. So if you are currently at Oworonshoki approaching the island, there is no traffic right now on the Third Mainland Bridge all the way. Ooh, wow, this is quite surprising. But you're in luck if you're, making your way to the island and approaching the Third Mainland, if you're using the Third Mainland Bridge. There is no traffic all the way. So you're still in good time, well, before the traffic starts to build up. And that's it on traffic update this morning. We've got some juicy gists.
Emem always does. Emem always has that juicy gist, and I can't wait for her to get here. And there's all sorts of things happening online, but just another word of note. Please take your life and the life of your family seriously. Now, if you do see a vehicle that is overcrowded, you don't just owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family to avoid putting yourself in that kind of situation. Now, I know that, it's hard to find commercial buses at some certain times of the day.
Yes, it is.
I completely understand that. But if it means putting your life at risk to get to an office that would likely replace you, if God forbid something happened to you, please, just, a word is enough for the wise. Let's not take such risks. The numbers keep climbing.
Keep increasing. And
it's sad, but we just have to keep telling people what's up.
And it's important, to keep, drumming in people's ears, keep letting them know, keep telling them. I mean, the awareness campaign has to be stronger and, more intentional because people are just throwing caution to the wind. I go out every day. Is it that going to the market? So yes, people are wearing face masks. It's one thing to wear the mask. It's another thing to observe social distancing. Avoid physical human contact if you're in public as much as possible. And I'll also advise that if you can wear long sleeves, if you're going to public places where or crowded places, please do. Wear your long sleeves. I have like a pack of hand gloves. I don't even take any risk because you just need to be extremely careful.
Doctor, and this particular doctor is over 30 years of experience. And he said he's created a bubble around his home.
Okay.
A sanitation bubble.
Okay.
And basically what that means is once you come through that bubble, right, it's broken that line of sanitation around his home. So I followed his advice. I have gloves and a disposable mask ready for anyone that is coming in that I don't know where they've been, into the compound or not just into the building. I have tap and soap outside ready. You wash your hands. I give you a fresh mask. I give you gloves if you're coming to work. I put all those things in place to make sure that, and then of course shoes off in the compound, no shoes coming into the house. So
that's what I do as well. If anyone is coming to visit, so when I call Emem, I'm at your gate, even my siblings, when Emem, I tell my little girl, oh yeah, take soap, meet them at the gates, tell them to wash their hands at the tap before they come into the house, because it's very important. I mean, it's important that everyone is being clean and keeping extreme hygiene measures is very, very important.
So, we're stressing this for a reason because I've become like the mask police in this studio. Anytime I see someone coming, I'm like, sorry, excuse me, where's your mask? Where is it? Where is it? Please, can you turn back?
But there's more interesting gist on social media this morning.
I actually saw this press release. Now, I was trying my best to confirm if it, was a legitimate statement, but then of course it has become a trend on Twitter.
Yes, it has.
Press statement from Ms. Chieftain Babatayo, who, alleges that she was raped by popular singer D'banj. Now, there's a lot of statements in this report that it does kind of blow your mind. What is written here. Basically, she's
alleging that D'banj broke into her room, her hotel room. They seemed to be in the same hotel at a particular point and period, and that was back in 2018, sometime in December. And she alleges that D'banj broke into her hotel room at night and raped her. And so now she's come forward to say that, you know, to lay these claims.
And then, so where it actually gets, you know, alarming is that, you know, she says that, you know, through a legal representative, you know, D'banj, through a legal representative, published a document in response to her lawyer's document.
So this is after...
demanding damages.
This is after she was... okay, so yes, when she, you know, came on social media, and came out on Twitter and, you know, laid these allegations about D'banj, D'banj actually sent, you know, a lawyer to her, you know, asking for 100 million naira worth of damages.
Yes.
Wow. Then afterwards, she was arrested.
Yeah, so
she was coerced.
She says
she was intimidated.
4 armed policemen stormed her apartment and arrested her without a warrant.
Yeah.
They seized her phones, personal effects, and the like. And, you know, I'm thinking about the fact that, you know, there are people rising up and talking about what's happening. And there's so many different sides to the story. And we're still waiting for all the details to come out.
We're actually waiting for D'banj to come out and say something. He hasn't said anything. His lawyers have not said anything.
Okay.
So it's very, I'm really happy. I mean, because the kind of support this girl has gotten so within a very short period, you know, since she broke, you know, she came out on Twitter, has been alarming and has been impressive.
I could say yes, impressive, but then again, there does seem to be a bandwagon thing that happens whenever things start trending.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just put it in place that yes, there is that, okay, yes, support someone, but people still need to get the facts straight. Obviously, I'm not taking any sides here. I'm just saying that a lot of people just jump on causes without actually hearing all the details. I'm going to throw it back to the Justice Smollett matter, where myself, I jumped on that
matter. That case, fingers are still crossed on that matter.
Exactly. So, you know, we just really have to wait for all the details to come out. But that is what people have been talking about for the past, 12 hours now on Twitter. We are going to be taking a quick break now. There's still quite a lot to come. Now, there's something special about every single segment, every single hour, every single day on Wake Up Nigeria. It's our midweek edition, and we just rounded off an exciting first hour. The next 1 hour and 45 minutes is tailored just for you. It's going to be far better than what you had in the first hour. And as things continue to improve, people start to move around in different parts of the country, please, let's follow all the health guidelines to help fight against this deadly virus. My name is Titi Oyinsan. Please stream the show live if you have to go anywhere. You can always use facebook.com/TVC Connect or our website tvcentertainment.tv. We also have a super cool app available for you to download. You can use it on Android, you can use it on iOS. From there, you can watch this amazing show and so many other great shows on TVC all through the day. So you want to catch some of these exciting episodes, you can use that, or backtrack, catch up basically on YouTube. You can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment, and you can watch all the amazing things we've brought to you over the past almost 3 years now. Amazing stuff. Now, also this Friday, we have really great guests joining us at 2:30 p.m. Yes, I believe 2:30 p.m. on Instagram Live. We call it Wake Up Nigeria Extra, and it gives our guests an extra elongated piece of time to connect with you, the viewers. So those questions you want them to see, those things you want to tell them, we give you that opportunity to connect with them directly. There's something else we give you an opportunity to see, our chefs. Early in the morning, we have amazing chefs. Come join us in the studio, and we're going to be having one again today. And Emem will be hanging out with Chef Alex today in the kitchen. That's going to be fun, right?
Yes, I'm sure it will be. He'll be joining us in a bit. I'm sure he's stuck in traffic. Yeah, so we just have to stay tuned and wait.
Of course. We're waiting on the chef eagerly. It's always worth waiting for whenever they eventually get here. We love the array of food they put out for us, and they're making such an effort. We can't wait to see the chef today. But coming up, we also have something for you on a lighter note. Some hilarious videos we found on the web.
Call me Debo.
And after that, we'll be joined virtually by a Ghanaian rapper, singer, and songwriter called M.anifest.
Who are you advising? Minty, that's a true feeling. Tell these old dogs I'm a new villain. Your 2 cents a nuisance, I know shillings. I did go from underdog to top.
On our nutrition segment, Bode Agbe-Davies, a nutritional enthusiast and the creator of the Body Create method, will be joining us to talk about eating healthy as a habit. Very important habit, actually. And have you ever wondered what to do with your old t-shirts? The one and only Emem will be showing us how to convert that old t-shirt into a beautiful pillowcase on Life Hacks. And finally, relationship expert Toju Oluwatoyinbo is going to join us to complete her discussion on that interesting topic, don't marry that man if. Leaving it hanging there. Don't marry that man if. You know, it's, I don't want to talk about that now because I have some throwbacks that I posted on Instagram yesterday.
What's
for those that know me from way back, some people still call me Titi Fanta. People often ask me why, and someone just asked me, where are those old pictures? So I actually went digging. I scrolled through Facebook all the way to like 2003, 2004, and I found some pictures of me during the shoot. Now this particular picture
I saw
is
this.
me and TA. Now that is TA the comedian. Look how he looks. That is me. My first time.
How old were you here?
I was 17 here.
Oh, wow.
I was 17 years old. My first time ever holding a microphone.
You're really cute, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a Fanta t-shirt, and I was holding a Fanta bottle. And, that was one of my first times ever being in front of a crowd. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I also have another image where I was actually sitting there getting ready to shoot the billboard for that particular brand. And it was just like, you know what, I'm young, an opportunity has come my way, but then I was just thinking about how blessed I was to have been at that particular point.
What I'd like to know is, at that age, I mean, how did you cope with all of the, you're dealing with a lot of elderly people, like people who were way older than you. How did you deal with all of that?
So I think, for me, I think home training first, respect your elders. I was always doing everything possible to be as respectful as possible to everyone, because I realized that everyone was older than me. But then I wanted to learn from everyone too. So I had to make sure I was in those particular spaces to learn from them. Then I kind of begun to understand the importance of branding yourself gradually from people that were ahead of me and had been doing it. Now, there was
it must have been quite an experience for you.
I indicated in one of the posts that my first time experiencing, xenophobia, racism, all that was when I went for that shoot. If you want to find out exactly what I mean, you can just chat me up on Instagram and then I'll explain a little more about it. Yeah, you know what?
You have to head over to the news now.
I have to take the news update at this point. And we start like this. Acting National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Hilliard Etta, has declared that there are no factions in the National Working Committee. He made this statement while receiving reports on the Edo State APC governorship primaries from Senator Ajibola Bashiru. Mr. Etta also refuted claims that the Secretariat was sealed by police officers. There were speculations earlier in the day that the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, had ordered a seal-off of the National Secretariat of the APC. But Mr. Etta insists the Force Public Relations Officer, Frank Mba, had cleared the air on that. He introduced Wargu Bombs as National Deputy Secretary of the party. The Nigeria Police Force has reacted to reports suggesting that it has sealed off the premises of the APC Secretariat in Abuja. In a press release made available to TVC News, the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Frank Mba, confirmed that personnel have been deployed as a proactive measure aimed at maintaining law and order in the Secretariat. By this, he says members of the APC and staff of the Secretariat are at liberty to conduct their legitimate businesses in and around the building. And as Governor Obaseki awaits his fate, there's yet another twist to the developments in the People's Democratic Party. His counterpart, Governor Nyesom Wike, has pulled out of the effort to reconcile contending aspirants. Speaking on the matter, Governor Wike said rather than considering the interests of all stakeholders, the party's National Working Committee has chosen to blackmail him. He denied responsibility for an order obtained from a federal high court in Port Harcourt affecting the conduct of the PDP governorship primaries in Edo State. Governor Wike also warned of the possibility of a major crisis in the party similar to that of the All Progressives Congress.
It's not River State High Court. Even if it's the River State High Court, like people will say, he have no control over them. They are judges. They now said, because they came to River State and got a Federal High Court River State and got an order, therefore I'm aware. But they also forgot that the governor of Edo State, Obaseki, they came to here, Federal High Court here. When they were fighting with the Chimney about the House of Assembly matter, they got an order. Are you saying that I was the one who was responsible? And with this, I can no longer participate.
And as the two leading political parties struggle to resolve these issues, the Independent National Electoral Commission is worried about the smooth conduct of primaries and elections. The electoral body believes the process, which is complex, which could be disrupted by pre-election litigations and the conflicting orders emanating from different courts. It's closely monitoring the cases and restates its strong commitment to obeying all orders and judgments from properly constituted courts in accordance with the rule of law. INEC says the conduct of party primaries, including resolution of disputes, will end on the 27th of June, while the submission of the list of candidates will close on the 29th of June. Meanwhile, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has apologized to Nigeria for the demolition of the building within her High Commission in Accra, Ghana. In a telephone conversation with President Buhari yesterday, the Ghanaian leader said he had directed full investigation into the incident. A statement signed by President Buhari's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, added that some suspects had been arrested and would be arraigned in court. And that's it on the news updates.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria, and we're about to take the headlines from the papers this morning.
Yeah, I would love to start with the Guardian newspaper this morning, and it says here, Nigeria may lose out on COVID-19 vaccine. Ministers, others task government scientists on homegrown solutions, which I think is a good idea. Page 6 has more on that. Tension as police seal reopen APC Secretariat. Why we sent our men there, according to the FPRO. Court bars Gadem from role in APC affairs, and crisis in Ondo over deputy governor's defection worsens. Moving to the top of the page now, danger signals from Edo political actors. Still on the cover of The Guardian now. Northern governors, Monguno, others meet over rising insecurity. Group clarifies petition to UN, Trump over invasion of Southeast. And airlines seek flight resumption as NCAA submits findings today. I'm looking at some chaos in that picture there, the photo story there. It says daily chaos at Ladipo, Toyota bus stop. Now this is along Apapa Oshodi Expressway. and it's caused by snail speed work by the construction company there in Lagos. And if you know Ladipo very well, you know that that's where the car spare parts market is. Yeah. And people are just, they troop in and out of their lot. I think that road needs to be finished really quickly. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, and on the cover of the Daily Sun this morning, more confusion in APC. Police seal reopen party's secretariat. Gadem fixes virtual NEC meeting tomorrow. He's on his own, says the NWC, and you can find that on page 6. And below here on the cover of the papers, we have court clears Obaseki to participate in PDP primary. Party petitions NJC seeks sanction against Port Harcourt George. Wike abandons Edo governor, and you can find that on page 6. Also here we have Minister gets ICRS nod to concession Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano airports. Also here we have NIIA leadership tussle. Federal government appoints interim DG. Begins recruitment for substantive head. And you can find that on page 26. And also here we have WHO approves use of dexamethasone to treat critically ill COVID-19 patients. And NAFDAC moves to aid Nigerian scientists on drugs and vaccines. And you can find that on page 26 of the paper. And below here we still have Ondo Deputy Governor alleges impeachment plots as Governor Akeredolu sacks his aide. And at the top here of the paper, we have 13 Imo lawmakers, 49 Enugu health workers test positive for COVID-19. Ugwuanyi sets up committee on the de-escalation of disease, grants relief incentives to taxpayers. And you can find that on page 22 of the Daily Sun newspaper.
I have the Nation newspaper here with me as well, and it says Wike attacks PDP NWC over Obaseki's ticket bid. Rivers governor, some NWC members are tax collectors. Port Harcourt Ekpoma courts give conflicting rulings. PDP reports judge to CJN. INEC warns parties on suits. Meanwhile, Ondo doctors begin strike. 13 Imo lawmakers test positive. Mali's concert in the mall unsealed, finally. Ex-HOS Lords health workers. And it also has the COVID-19 global case toll there. Now it says, officially, according to this report, 9,294,028 cases of COVID-19 have been recorded all over the world. Now, it's nearing the 10 million mark, and that is scary. It's nearing 10 million, and that is scary. And now, the death toll stands at 477,371 people who have died of COVID-19 related complications. Presently, in Nigeria, the number of cases has risen to 21,371 cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, and the death toll has risen as well to 533. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation.
All right, moving on to the cover of the Punch newspaper. More drama as police occupy APC office. NWC battles Gadem over NEC. Have Buhari's approval to convene NEC meeting, says suspended secretary. You're on suspension, can't convene NEC. NWC warns Embattled Chieftain. I have decided to sit and watch developments as they unfold, says Amici. And at the top of the Punch newspaper here, experts back Buhari as president falls ECOWAS single currency. And you can find that on page 26. Killer soldiers deliberately gunned down IRT policemen to free Wadume, Hamisu's king's men. And you can find that on page 7. Fear grows as hospitals release COVID-19 test results in 2 weeks. Lagos turnaround time for coronavirus results has improved, says Commissioner. And down below here on the cover of the paper, we have court suspends demotion of 75 coronet obas appointed by Amosun. Also here, protesters storm EFCC office, demand Obasa's probe, and that's on page 8 of the paper. Akeredolu plans to remove me illegally, Deputy Governor alleges. Also here we have demolition, reps fault Onyema, odd retaliation against Ghana, and that's on page 9. Generator fumes kill 2 hairdressers in Lagos. That's a pretty sad one, and that's on page 4 and 5 of the paper. Oyo postpones school reopening to July 6th. And that's all you can find on the Punch, on the headlines of the Punch newspaper this morning. Interesting, funny videos right there. Freaky. Always my favorite, every time, any day. All right, so well, it's that segment where I share with you brilliant life hacks that would probably save you some money. Yes. So have you ever, passed by a store where, like an interior decoration store or interior design store, where you see some really, really beautiful throw pillows and pillowcases, and you can't buy them? Well, I'm going to be teaching you how to make really nice artistic pillowcases to add beauty to your home using old T-shirts like I have here. Titi, do you want to know how I came about this shirt? This is actually a shirt from my pre-wedding shoots, but I see that, I found out that it's wearing off, so I decided, you know what, why not turn it into a pillowcase. So I'll be recreating this and I'll be teaching you how to achieve it. So first of all, I have my old shirt here I'll be using. As you can see, it has a picture of a Danfo boss here, which is going to add more, beauty to my throw pillow. I have my scissors and I have my markers. So what I've done, or I've started working already, as you can see, I've already cut a part of the shirt here. And what you do first of all is you put your throw pillow on, you place your throw pillow on the shirt you'll be using, and then you mark out, the part where you would like to cut off from your shirt using your marker or a chalk, which I have done already. So quickly, I am just going to cut out I'm going to cut a part of the shirt that I'd like to use quickly. And so you do this carefully. This is very simple and easy to make. You don't need needle and thread, but if you'd like to use a needle and thread or a sewing machine, of course, you could do that. Nothing stops you. But this morning, I'm going to be teaching you how to create this without needing a needle and thread. So I'm going to cut off the part of the shirt that I want to use quickly and start to work. So these are actually Eliana's throw pillows, as you can see. That's why they're really small and cute. Yeah. And I've been wanting to really get her some really beautiful throw pillows that would just add some beauty to her cots, her baby cots. And so what I do often is just use old shirts that I'm not using anymore and just recreate one. So this doesn't take time at all. So now that I have cut out the part of the shirt that I'd like to use, I am now going to trim the edges like I have here, so you just cut them slightly. So make sure all this time your throw pillow is on your shirts while you cut. So I'm just going to keep cutting here. Okay, this scissors isn't sharp enough. I'm going to use this quickly. And then when you're done cutting up all of the sides, so please, when doing this, make sure that there are no children around, because you're working with scissors. You don't want them pricking themselves with it. All right. So because of time, I won't be able to, trim all of the edges, but then I'll just show you how to, achieve this finished result quickly. So what I'm going to do here is just open up. So I have two parts of the shirt. I'm going to lay this on the table, straighten it out neatly, and then place my pillow on it, as you can see, and then take the other side of the shirt and then cover it. You see what I did here? Now, I'm going to take these parts that I have cut out and begin to knot them. So that's what I'm going to do to all of the sides that I have cut out. So make sure while you're doing that, you do it neatly and carefully. I'm going to knot it twice, and I'm going to do it to all the sides of the shirts, of the shirts, to lock up my pillow, my throw pillow nicely. And then, if you're worried about how do I take this off when I want to wash it, well, you could just throw it like that into the washing machine. Or you could get to work with your brush and detergent, but it shouldn't be difficult. So I'm just going to achieve all of this. I'm going to knot all of this, and well, hopefully before the end of the show, I'm going to show you the finished result. But at least you have an idea of what it looks like, as you can see here. So very easy, simple, and you don't even have to spend a dime while creating this and adding beauty to your sofa or your bed space. And that's it on Life Hacks for today. There's still so much more on the show, guys. Please stay with us.
Welcome back, and it's time for the kitchen, one of my favorite parts. And we have Chef Alex around. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Very, very, very well.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what are we making today? Talk to us.
This morning we'll be making a very, very, very simple meal. It's it's a regular meal that most of us know, we're very familiar with. But I just want to add a bit of twist to it.
Okay.
Because we're making a crispy chicken.
Okay.
And if you know too well, usually when people make a crispy chicken, it's just your diced chicken, and then you try to coat it up with flour. So what I'm just trying to do this morning is that for most people at home, we don't have flour, but we have cornflakes. So I just want to crumb this flakes up, and then.
So this is flakes, as in
flakes,
corn flakes.
Corn flakes, yes, the regular corn flakes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little more about all the other ingredients we have right here on display. So we have
chicken.
Yeah, of course.
Here we've got onion here.
Yeah.
We've got our eggs, and those three majorly are going into the chicken. Okay. And for the other stuffs, we have a mayonnaise here. We have carrot. We've got cucumber. Okay. So what I just want to make with these vegetables is that I want to make it a very simple tartar sauce. Okay. To go with the crunchy chicken, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So just like a dip for the chicken.
I'm all in favor of crispy chicken and tartar sauce and everything. I just want to know what we're doing right now.
Okay. So first of all, we're going to get this chicken off, and then this
all right.
chicken.
So let's work on the chicken.
Exactly. So I decided to show the people at home from the start to the finish. So this is a quarter chicken, right? So when you buy your whole chicken, just get the quarter out, and then take the skin off first.
Okay. Is this optional? The taking the skin off part?
No. You must take the skin off. Yes, because you just want the flesh alone. That's all you want.
This is room temperature chicken.
Yes, room temperature chicken.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So you just trying to get this off.
So you're basically removing the breast of the
breast,
chicken.
Exactly. So we're going to be using chicken breast, the chicken breast alone. As you can see. There.
That was so smooth. Like you can see that this is someone that does this every day. Okay. So that's the part we're using.
The part we're using. Fantastic. And so what you just want to do again is you try to have this.
Okay.
That way.
Slice it in half again.
In half like that.
To open it up?
Exactly.
Nice.
This way. So you just want to get, dices of your chicken.
Ooh. You
Like
see how
this.
smoothly he did that?
Like that.
That's a practiced hand right there. Okay,
So
okay.
you see you have this sizes of chicken. So what you just do, the same to this, the same. Right. So here you have your chicken here already here.
So what's the next move now?
So what we're going to do next now is we're going to crumb this up and then try to season this up, and then we just coat the chicken in that, in the crunched.
All right, can you
flakes.
show us the crunch, the
Okay.
crumbling, with the crunching
Yes.
process?
So what you just do is, if you have a blender, you can just pop this into your blender and then do that with blender. But if you don't have a blender, you can also use your mortar as well, and then just try to break this up that way.
Are you adding anything to the
No,
cornflakes?
just the
No?
cornflakes. Just the cornflakes. Try to grind it like that. Keep on grinding.
It's like relatively fast. It's
Yes.
grounded quite fast.
So you have this.
Okay, okay.
All right. So we're just going to season the chicken now, and
So tell us a bit about the seasoning. What are the seasoning items?
okay,
we're
the seasoning, really depends on what you have, but basic seasoning, you have your pepper, the black pepper, whether black pepper or Cameroon pepper, whatever pepper you have, your salt and all of that, ginger, garlic, whatever you have, just feel free to add them, and then feel free to season it the way you like.
Now the ingredients are on your screen right now. If you can see them, you can try this at home yourself. Okay, so I'm interested in seeing the the coating of this chicken in the crumbs, the cornflakes crumbs. But I know you're about to do something else right now.
Yes. I want to add, because this herb here is called celery.
Okay.
So usually I like the flavor that comes with it. So most times when I work with chicken, most especially, chickens like this kind of meals, I just try to get a little bit of it in my chicken because of the flavor that comes with it.
Okay.
It's also part of the seasoning.
Okay.
So you just try as much as possible. So
chop a little celery in there.
exactly in there.
Okay.
That way.
All right.
Finely chopped celery.
Celery.
This might actually take a little bit of time, but just take your time, chop it.
This is finely chopped.
Finely chopped, exactly.
So you're going to add this to the marinade for the chicken?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Now, celery doesn't really have that much juice in it, but it does have a very distinct
exactly,
flavor.
distinct and strong flavor. Very distinct and strong, yes. Very, very correct.
I've not seen celery in chicken before. I've seen it in salads, but in chicken, I don't know.
It works. One thing you need to know about adding spices to food is it depends. It really depends on what you want and how you want it to taste. If you are a lover of celery so much and then you want it in your fish, feel free to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you like it, and then that's all. Yeah.
Okay, so that's some fine dicing there. I'm learning from your skills there as well. I can't wait to see you finish spicing and marinating that chicken, and we'll definitely be showing you some more tips as well. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
Emem is standing by right now. She's about to have an interesting conversation on food and habits. It's time for nutrition.
Thank you very much, Titi. I can't wait to taste that chicken when it's ready. All right, on to some nutrition this morning. We have been joined online by Bode Agbe-Davies, the creator of the Body Create method and a certified fitness trainer and nutritional enthusiast. Now, she'll be talking about the importance of a healthy eating pattern. And like she says, eating healthy is a habit, and of course we're going to be talking about how eating healthy can become a habit. Hello, Miss Bode, how are you doing this morning?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing good.
Good morning. Thank you. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks for joining us. All right, so let's get right into it. Eating healthy. How do you make that a habit? How do you incorporate that into your daily lifestyle?
I think this is one of the most important things, and this is where food makes it famous, because you can have all of the fats and all of it.
All right, we seem to be having a network glitch there, which of course will be fixed in a bit. But for now, let's find out what's happening in the kitchen with that chicken. Hello, Titi.
Yeah. All right, you know, we always try to make sure we use the healthiest ingredients here.
Yep.
And we're planning to start dicing some garlic and have some seasoning. So this pepper you were talking about, you can open it up. It's not a problem. What sort of pepper is it?
Right here, I like the distinct flavor that comes with Cameroon pepper.
Cameroon pepper.
Yes.
So this is one of the hottest.
Yes, it's very, very hot.
Peppers.
Yes.
Out there.
Yeah.
This is the type that makes you sneeze. Huh? The type that, you know, when you smell it when you're passing by, you know
that this is what they're working with.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you just do there? Can you show us what you just did there?
Okay, I just broke
You basically slammed on
the garlic. Yes, that's very, very true. I realized that
again.
this way you have a garlic and then just the knife on it. That way, that's the fastest way to peel off your garlic. And then
beautiful, and it looks so great. And so all that using the knife to peel it is all over.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, just a little bit of garlic there as well.
So you know there's a special way, so I've tried to teach this before, this rocking of the knife. I'm not as good as you, obviously, but what are you achieving with that knife?
Okay, this is what called rock chopping.
Yeah.
Rock chopping, yes. So there are basically three different types of, you know, knife handling skill, but this is just rock chopping. Just hold the knife and then rock it all over what you're cutting. Okay. Rock chopping. Yes, I'm just
so basically the knife doesn't ever leave the chopping board?
No, at all.
Beautiful.
Not at all.
All right. Wow.
You know, what you can learn from some of our chefs here on the show. So I learned how to chop like that, and trust me, it's so seamless.
Yeah,
so seamless.
And I think it's also safer as well because your fingers are not in the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now I can see that you've started adding the flakes.
Exactly.
Corn flakes.
Yes, and we're also going to be working with this. Okay. You know, for some, this is egg. Okay. For some, if you just want to coat it this way and then fry it like that, it works best. Yes, but then most especially since we're working with the cornflakes, but if you're working with normal flour, you need egg in here so that it can really, really stick to the chicken. And when you're working with flour like that, all you just need to do is break this egg in there like that. Okay. And then just, you know, try to mix this together.
Oh, okay. Let me help with that.
All right, thank you.
Let me help with that. Okay, here you go.
All right, great. So just this way. And then what you just do is your seasoned chicken, in the egg, coat it.
Maybe just put it on the chopping board so we can...
Coat it, and then you have your egg in here before it goes into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just coat it up?
Yes, just coat it up.
So how many times am I coating it up, Chef?
Just twice. Once, one in the egg, and then the other in the cornflakes. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah. So does the chicken have to be a particular temperature before it can stick?
No, it just has to be, you know, on room, not room temperature, probably like about 6-7 degrees Celsius, cold, very cold chicken.
Okay.
Not too iced so that your knife can really go through it.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. All right, now with that, we have to take a quick break, people, but we will be back. Now, this chef is already blowing our minds. You need to make sure you're right there to see the finished product. Yeah. Hello again. Now, if you've been with us through the first and second hour, then you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for being there. And if you're just joining us right now, hey, not to worry. You're still in for a whole new TV experience, and we're kicking it off right now. Welcome to the last 45 minutes on Wake Up Nigeria. It's a Wednesday, people. It's Wednesday. And well, on Wednesdays, we always love the fact that you're right there with us and you let us into your homes. There's still something amazing coming your way right now, so you need to stay right there in front of your screen. My name is Titi Oyinsan, and aka Titi the Dynamite. Remember, you have an option to stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. You can also join us on our social media pages. Tell us a little bit about how you feel about our meal today. We'd love to see your comments on our methods in the kitchen. You can always use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC so we can see them. And if you missed anything, not to worry. You can always watch all our exciting episodes on YouTube. Just make sure you visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so you can get some notifications. So as soon as we post them up, you'll get to see it. Also, this Friday, we have someone very special joining us on Wake Up Nigeria Extra. 2:30 p.m. on Instagram Live. Your questions, your comments, contributions, your opinions can always be addressed during those interviews. So, hey, you do not want to miss that. Now, joining us via Skype, we'll be having M.anifest all the way from Ghana. And of course, we'll still be having a really interesting discussion on nutrition coming your way in a little while with Bode Agbe-Davies. But I'm going to take the news update at this point. And there's quite a lot of updates in the news happening today. The acting national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Hilliard Etta, has declared that there are no factions in the National Working Committee. He made this statement while receiving reports on the Edo State APC governorship primaries from Senator Ajibola Bashiru. And Mr. Etta has also refuted claims that the secretariat was sealed by police officers. There were speculations earlier yesterday that the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, had ordered a seal-off of the National Secretariat of the APC. But Mr. Etta insists the Force Public Relations Officer, Frank Mba, had cleared the air on that. He introduced Wargu Bombs as National Deputy Secretary of the party. The Nigeria Police Force has reacted to reports suggesting that it has sealed off the premises of the APC Secretariat in Abuja. In a press release made available to TVC News, the Force Public Relations Officer, DCP Frank Mba, confirmed that personnel had been deployed as a proactive measure aimed at maintaining law and order at the Secretariat. By this, he says members of the APC and staff of the Secretariat are at liberty to conduct their legitimate businesses in and around the building. And as Governor Obaseki awaits his fate, there's yet another twist to the developments in the People's Democratic Party. His counterpart, Governor Nyesom Wike, has pulled out of the effort to reconcile contending aspirants. Speaking on the matter, Governor Wike said rather than considering the interests of all stakeholders, the party's National Working Committee has chosen to blackmail him. He denied responsibility for an order obtained from a federal high court in Port Harcourt affecting the conduct of the PDP governorship primaries in Edo State. Governor Wike also warned of the possibility of a major crisis in the party similar to that of the All Progressives Congress. Meanwhile, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has apologized to Nigeria for the demolition of the building within her High Commission in Accra, Ghana. In a telephone conversation with President Buhari yesterday, the Ghanaian leader said he has directed full investigation into the incident. A statement signed by President Buhari's senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, added that some suspects had been arrested and would be arraigned in court. And that's it for the news updates at this point. Now, Emem is joined online by Bode Agbe-Davies.
Thank you very much, Titi. All right, so I'm sure that that network glitch has been sorted, and right now, Bode Agbe-Davies will be joining us on the discussion, eating healthy as a habit. Hello, Bode. Are you back with us? Hi.
Yes, I am.
Sorry about that earlier.
Oh, it's okay. Things happen.
All right, great. All right, so now let's talk about how do we incorporate eating healthy into our daily lifestyle.
Right. So I was saying you can have all the information on how to combine your macronutrients, what a healthy meal should look like, But without making it a habit, this is where the problem usually is, because this is something you need to do over and over again. And so one of the biggest tips I give people is to set up their environment for success when it comes to healthy eating. And what this means is that essentially the types of food you want to eat is what you want around your environment, but you want it visible. So I'll give you an example. Say you want to be able to eat more fruits every morning on a consistent basis. You have maybe apples, for instance. Don't take your apples and put them in the refrigerator. Get a fruit bowl, put it on your dining table, and put your apples in the fruit bowl on your dining table. And so this way, it is right in front of you, it is visible, the fruit bowl makes it attractive. And so every time you see that fruit bowl, it reminds you that you're trying to develop this new habit. And sooner or later, you're going to get into the habit of eating that apple every morning, every afternoon, or as often as you want to.
Does this same routine apply to those who are also on a weight loss journey?
Oh, yes, it does. It does. It applies to whether you're on a weight loss journey, whether you just want to eat healthy. And I always say, honestly, weight loss, especially sustained weight loss, is a byproduct of healthy living. It is not about the intensive 1-month diet program you go on, because let's be honest, those things don't last. And that's because we haven't looked into the habits and the things we need to do every day. So especially people on a weight loss and anyone that just wants to live healthy, you want to make it attractive, you want to make it visible. So even something as simple as just wanting to drink more water, you want to get a water bottle that looks nice and that you can carry around with you, as opposed to and even a bottle is just so easy to, or just any kind of plastic bottle is easy to blend into the background and forget. But have an attractive water bottle that you carry around with you. You always remember that this is a new habit that you're trying to form, and that triggers you to just grab that bottle when you see it and drink more water. So setting up your environment is very essential to making healthy eating a habit.
So what's next? So now we know about setting up your environment. Let's not forget that there are also working class people who also want to eat healthy.
So for working class people, you can take this to the work environment, right? You can stock up your office with, rather than just have snacks that are filled with sugar, you can have healthy alternatives. Meal planning is also very important. Cooking 3 or 4 days worth of food at a go. That makes it convenient. And just putting them in individual size portion bowls, that makes it convenient for you to grab as you go. And so when I had a 9 to 5, I used to work in a bag, I would take the whole of a Saturday or Sunday to just cook my husband and I's meals, put them in individual portion bowls, and then we'll just grab them and go to the office, right? And so snacks could be something like an apple or, just something healthier. Doesn't mean you can't have the sugary snacks once in a while, but you want to make sure that the majority of what you have around you is the healthy options. So meal prepping is also very essential to developing healthy eating habits. When you have those meals prepared, when you have them ready to go, it kind of reduces the chances of you going for unhealthy options.
All right, so Bode, I'd like you to tell us some of those food options that are healthy, because you keep talking about fruits. What about food? Some meals that, Go ahead, please.
We talked about food. Rice is healthy, right? But you just want to work on your portion. Okay. Something like eba is actually healthy as well, amala, and the swallows we have. So I always say when it comes to food, just think about it. Where is your ingredient coming from? Is it natural? Is it coming from the ground? Is it little minimal processing? Those are the foods you want to be the majority of what you eat. So something like eba, gari has minimal processing, elubo has minimal processing, rice has minimal processing, and these can be staples that you eat. But then, of course, you want to pair them with vegetables. Your eforiro is fantastic. We've talked about cooking methods in past episodes. You want to make sure you're cooking them healthy, using healthy oils. So it's not about just drinking green juices. You need those carbohydrates, your body needs it. You need those healthy sources of fat, but make sure you're cooking them well. Make sure your ingredients are as natural as possible. Make sure you're using healthy sources of fat. So yeah.
Now let's talk about consistency, because it's one thing to start, it's another thing to continue. So what would you suggest would be that, tool or that method you'd suggest to, maintaining this eating healthy habits?
Right. So when you start to set up your environment for success, that's going to help a lot. But I also always say you need to be patient. Patience is a virtue when it comes to healthy living in general. A lot of times we expect these things to happen almost overnight, where we go from eating, not being very conscious of our choices, to just getting it right every day, and that's not going to be happening. So patience, really, and forgiving yourself. Like, don't beat yourself down on days when you just don't eat something healthy. It happens to everyone. We're surrounded by unhealthy choices. There's hardly going to be anyone who doesn't make those choices. So it's a lot about mindset and just encouraging yourself along the way. But as you start to set your environment up for success, as you start to practice and be patient with yourself, you will get into the rhythm of doing it consistently.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bode, for this interesting conversation. It's always a pleasure having you, enlightening us, and putting us on that eating healthy track. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous day. All right, there's still so much more on the show, people. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Now it's about time for us to have a conversation with someone really interesting. We have Kwame Ametipi. I hope I got that pronunciation right. Tisaka, right? Now, he's popularly known as M.anifest, and he's on Skype for a chat. Now, in 2017, this talented rapper and singer-songwriter won Best Rapper and Hip Hop Song of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards. Over the years, he's worked with huge names like Damon Albarn, Tony Allen, and Erykah Badu. Now, he's joining us this morning to talk a bit more about his music and some of the common challenges rappers have been facing in the industry. Good morning, M.anifest.
Good morning.
Hi, it's great to see you. Okay, all right. So I know you can't see me, but I'm bowing right now. Like, wow, Some of your lyrics are on another level.
Thank you.
Are you in Ghana right now? Are you in Ghana right now?
Yes, I'm in Accra. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been able to ask people from all over the world what the lockdown has been like in different countries, but we haven't had anyone from Ghana yet. So can you tell us what the atmosphere was like during the lockdown for you guys in Ghana?
Well, I think it was similar to most other places. There was a lot of uncertainty in the air. But over time, I don't know what exactly happened before even the restrictions got removed, but I think everybody got comfortable. I think pretty much it's in between people being precautious and acting like life is back to normal.
All right. Well, I've been on your Instagram page and I've been like, for the past 1 hour, I've just been really moving to your flow. And there was a particular piece there where you said you went back to the basics during the lockdown. I don't know if you can remember that post. You went back to basics. What does that mean for a rapper like you, award-winning, to go back to the basics?
Well, for me, the basics was when I began, I was really not doing anything fancy in any fancy studio. I was in the house.
Yeah.
I recorded from home. I created from home. So I started doing that during the lockdown as well. So there was a track we created from scratch during the lockdown and called what's it called? I'm even forgetting. It's No Long Talk.
Yeah.
And we created it from home for my dining hall table, which I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So that was back to basics because that reminded me of my beginnings.
So so from your dining room table, you're basically saying that you can create music anywhere out of almost anything. But was it always like that, or did you eventually get there? And what steps did you take to get there?
That's where it began. I like to call it, it began at the Anywhere I'm At Studios. Before I ever entered a professional studio, I started creating, I bought equipment and started learning how to record. So it took a while to learn the technical aspect of it, to record, etc. And then I moved away from that. I started working with a lot of competent people, engineers, producers, etc. But the lockdown period allowed me to go back to relearning how to create with little. Sometimes because of how, when you're in an industry, because of how much it progresses, you start getting comfortable with working at a certain higher level of, I don't want to say professionalism, a certain high.
I get that, especially when you've worked and collaborated with some really great names. I mentioned earlier that you've worked with the likes of Erykah Badu, and you've also worked with our very own Burna Boy. Do you want to tell us what it's been like working with these people and what you've learned through the journey?
No, it's always been great working with people who are very inspired. All the names you mentioned, Tony Allen, etc., rest of so, are very inspired people, and none of those experiences are alike. The only thing they share in common is that they are always very inspired, and you don't know what's going to happen when you are in the session. You just know, you just have this unique faith that whatever is going to come out of it is going to be wicked, and usually it's been.
I saw another video clip with Kelpie Vibes, you know, and I think the tagline was, "We know they're here," you know, and I feel like a lot of your music has some powerful messages in it. Where do you find those messages? And this particular one, "We know they're here," what exactly is that all about?
You know, it's not very difficult to find something to talk about. You can make extraordinary out of the ordinary in this life, you know. You can wake up, especially in Africa, you can wake up in the morning and you're going to encounter something very ordinary but unique that you can speak about. So it's easy to draw inspiration. We know the here is basically being unapologetic, trying to say that, you know, we're going to stay focused on what we are doing. We are not going to listen to the distractions, you know, and I think it's a good message to self, which is always a great message when you are talking something, you are saying something that can apply to yourself, you know. So that's what we know the here is.
All right. Now I saw that you went on Tim Westwood TV on Capital FM in the UK, and you did a live. You were spitting. Let's just use that. You were really throwing down, and you know, I want to throw you under the bus here and ask if you have a few lines that you could give us right now, right here on air. Can you do that for me?
Is that throwing me under the bus or throwing the mic in front of me?
I'm throwing a mic in front of you. All right, so give us something. Just give us 8 bars.
Allow me to recap what has happened thus far. Mama, I'm a rap star, still allow whack bars. My ambition and drive is like a luxury ride. You own Bikonkuka, you taking shots, bongo bar. I did fit to shock, but trolling is mandatory. How am I the laughing stock? Who's taking inventory?
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I honestly am so impressed, like, with the growth, the movement, everything you've been putting out there. And I noted your style as well. Man, your fashion is another level. Like, is there someone like specially styling you, or is this the real you? I have to ask.
Oh, this is my real face.
No, I'm talking about your outfits, your looks, your videos.
No, I mean, it's evolved over time, but it's always been African inspired, and it's always been trying to, you know, be very modern, but still take from the past. I mean, I've worked with different stylists, but they all sort of come to an understanding of how I am. I don't perform how I dress. This is how I can wear a t-shirt and put combinations together that still reflect who I am, which is sort of an African-inspired modern guy, artist, you know. Yeah.
I'm loving that. I'm loving it. Honestly, I had to mention that. Now, but there is something else, a little more serious, that I wanted to ask about. You know, there's this constant tension in the rap industry. You know, rappers always picking, should I say picking fights with other rappers and, you know, trying to possibly use it for clout and possibly put their own message across, whatever it might be. So tell me how you feel about that.
Oh, I don't think there's a problem with competitive rivalry so long as it stays artistic. You know, I mean, in real life, art reflects life, life reflects art, or as they say in more articulate terms, art is an imitation of life, life is an imitation of art. And if art is an imitation of life, people quarrel in real life all the time. So art sometimes will reflect that. So I have no problem with that, because we are people with very different views. We might all be artists, but sometimes we have completely different views. And you see that with the fans. So if one artist takes a certain viewpoint and represents something, the people who that resonates with want to hear from that person say those things, and same with another person. So it is absolutely fine. I think what is most important is how we conduct ourselves when we are having these competitive rivalries, and if it doesn't spill over into kind of real life nonsense behavior. But otherwise, I think it's absolutely fine. I think, you know, people love, it's like people watching a boxing fight. They love to see what's happening, but then they get so tense, so afraid, like, oh, don't do this. Look, at the end of every boxing fight, people shake hands. At the beginning, they shake hands. So once it stays on that level, it's competitive rivalry, not beef. It's absolutely fine with me.
All right, then. Now, Manifest, I wish we could continue this conversation. It's been great having you on the show. Thanks for the brief freestyle right there. It's been great having you on air. When you're in Nigeria next, make sure you come to the studio, hopefully when the lockdown is fully over. Welcome back. Now we have Toju Oluwatoyinbo online now. She's a teacher, trainer, educator, someone who's added value to hundreds of different institutions, including facilitating life skill lessons and sessions for the team program by the Prince's Trust in the UK. Now, she's joined us today to complete the discussion we started last week. The topic,
don't marry that man
if. Welcome back, Toju. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
All right, so a brief recap of last week's topic. One of the key points that people talked about online, especially, was don't marry that man if you're the only thing in his world. I believe you said that. You're the one he loves the most in the world. And people sort of started discussing that with some reservations. But let's go on with the topic. What's next on that list?
All right, so I think we were trying to wrap up last week with don't marry that man if he's insecure, and I'd like to just briefly start with that. So a lot of women are advancing these days, and I listened to a great father speak yesterday, and I'll just use that to summarize this point. A woman is designed to be a helper. So it's really to your benefit if she's strong, if she's doing well, if she's advancing in her life, because there will come a time in your life where you need help, and who else is the best person to call than the person who you're committed to for the rest of your life. So if she's weak at that kind of time, then you are going to be in trouble as well. So if you don't allow, love gives permission to grow, love gives permission to thrive, love gives permission to increase. As a matter of fact, if you're shrinking, stagnated, or regressing, then it's probably not true love. So a man needs to learn that he's unique, the woman is unique, and both of them do better when they are both thriving.
So don't marry a man if he's insecure, because you may need to be strong, very strong down the line on his behalf. Right?
Exactly, and that's to his benefit.
All right. So I knew you had a long list of don't marry that man if you wanted to share with us. So I'd like you to continue on the other tips.
Yeah, so very close to being insecure is don't marry a man who is abusive. Now, abusive, of course, like we know, it could be verbal, it could be physical, it could be different things. But let's stick with it could be emotional, right? And I think that's closely related to being insecure because apart from 1, 2, 3 other reasons, it's very important to note that a man who hits his wife, who is verbally abusive, who is emotionally abusive, more times or often enough has something in himself that he does not like, has an inner thing in himself that he does not like, has an inadequacy, has an incompetence that he's trying to cover up for. So this narrative of ladies feeling, oh, I'm the one that did something wrong. If I hadn't done this, then he wouldn't have hit me, then he wouldn't have insulted me, then he wouldn't have traumatized me like this, needs to change. I'm not saying there isn't room for improvement for ladies and in attitude and character, but if he's doing that to you, I mean, it's written, no man hates his body, but he cherishes it and he nourishes it. So if he's not doing that to you, then there's a problem and you need to step aside. You can't afford to be emotional or sentimental about it. If you are dead, you cannot be emotional or sentimental. So please step back and don't marry a man who is abusing you or insulting you in your relationship. It would just get worse if you got married to that kind of man.
Okay. I was going to break down what you mean by abusive now. So if a guy at random says, you know, you're a stupid girl, or he says you don't even know what you're saying, or you never, you know, basically, or tries to bring you down in public. Those are the kinds of abuse you're talking about at this point.
Yes. Publicly, privately, because I mean, if plants and rice and inanimate objects respond to words, how much more so living human beings? We respond to words, and it can trigger off negative reflexes in our lives or negative attitudes in our lives. So now, don't permit that. You shouldn't even say that to your friends generally. How much more someone you say you are in a loving and committed relationship with.
Now let's talk about anger. because anger is a very critical element that we need to look out for, you know, in our significant other. So is that also on the list of, you know, things that we shouldn't, you know,
look out for? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I think that comes under an abusive relationship or a man who's insecure. Like I said, he's going to want to project that on someone who, quote and unquote, he sees as a weaker person or who he feels he has dominion over. And that's why I emphasized last week in leadership that what you want is leadership, not patriarchy, is partnership and a life partner, not someone who wants to lord himself over you. So you need someone, if you want to communicate you need to communicate in a way that your argument or your value or what you're trying to communicate is what you increase. You increase your value. You don't increase your voice, right? So thunderstorms don't grow flowers. We need gentle sunlight. We need water for plants to grow. We don't need a tornado for plants to grow. So if you want someone to be corrected or change his or her ways, the way you communicate is very important.
All right. You know, the only thing only thing on my mind right now is if you're saying we shouldn't marry all this list, you know,
the long list.
Who are we going to marry?
Who do we exactly? Who are we going to marry?
But the list is not over. It's not over.
The list is not over. And I'll wrap up with that, but let me just mention two other things quickly. And I know last week I mentioned that don't marry a man if you are the only person his world revolves around. Yes. And I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but the flip side of it also is don't marry a man who doesn't want to marry you. Don't marry a man who is not committed to you. So, I mean, you fixed wedding date like 3 times now.
Wow.
And some legitimate reason always comes up why he needs to move the wedding date, right? And then these are the kind of girls, unfortunately, that now gets into this whole wife material saga.
Yeah.
And you are cooking for him, cleaning for him, dry cleaning for him, nursing his parents, nursing his wounds, cooking jollof rice and pottage for his friends.
Wow.
And everybody is calling you our wife. And you feel like if you're doing all these things, then he will eventually marry you. But often enough, with those kind of guys, it usually doesn't work out like that. So don't force a man to marry you if he doesn't want to marry you. You're going to be trying to marry him for the rest of your life.
Wow.
You're going to be trying to marry him even after you've married him. You'll be trying to marry him for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you'll be trying to marry him for a long time.
So what are you?
And I think if we have final time for one more.
Yes, go ahead. Keep going.
Don't marry a man who is stingy.
Hey.
I know a lot of people want to hear that one. Don't marry a man who is stingy.
Okay, so
and I mean,
that
like
word stingy is broad.
Yeah. Exactly. So please,
so there are
with money.
There are prudent men. Yeah. So if he's prudent, what's the difference between being prudent and being stingy?
Yes. I was going to say that now. A lot of times when we are courting or dating and we're in love and everything, you wouldn't even see it as stingy. You see it as prudence. He's saving for a future.
Yeah.
He's saving for children. He shouldn't be lavish and all of that. But if he always puts money before how you feel all the time, then it's more likely that he's stingy. I mean, there are background issues and upbringing issues and all of that and exposure. But if he always brings up money before he buys you anything, gives you a gift, takes you out, thinks about the children, if he always thinks about money first, then he has a faulty money mechanism or thinking, and then he might be stingy.
And that might be a battle you're fighting for the rest of your life.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
But okay, well, if a man is too generous, though, couldn't that pose a problem later down the line? I'm just throwing
we
it
like
out there.
generous men. Thank you so much.
We prefer generous men. I mean, balance is the key to life and all, but I would rather a man who is generous than a man who is stingy.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Ms. Toju, for this interesting conversation this morning.
We're definitely going to continue this on social media. You should hit us up on Instagram at TVC Connect. We'll be posting this conversation, and of course, you can add your comments or contributions there as well. Toju will likely be replying some of those messages as well, right, Toju?
So, Titi, in case you have not noticed,
sure.
I can't wait to taste the chicken.
It's true.
Can we just
Toju,
head over to the
thanks
kitchen?
so much.
Thank you so much.
To you next week.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right then. So don't marry that man if he cannot cook chicken. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. He needs to know how to cook chicken.
Chef Alex is definitely a husband material.
Chef Alex in the building.
Hi, Titi. So we're here about.
So
we're done with our chicken, as you can see.
Goodness.
Very, very crispy. And lastly, I would like to mention this because...
Plate as you're
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So, chicken, ready?
Yeah, let's do that.
That's what you call finger licking good.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
All right.
So you can actually make use of cornflakes. Yeah, and for me, I think it's better for me because it's far more crispier. Yeah, it's far more crispier.
All right.
You had a taste earlier.
I trust you. I trust you.
All right, so this definitely has to run down with the sauce.
Yes.
And very, very quickly, in 1-2 minutes, you're done with the sauce.
Okay.
And so what we're just going to do is add your mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Yeah.
Simple, very simple.
That's a lot of mayonnaise. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Started counting calories in my brain. Okay. So.
All right. So you have your chopped cucumber here, chopped onions, chopped carrot. So just put all of that in there.
Okay.
And then to add more of freshness, you have parsley here, fresh parsley.
We're gonna chop that up.
Just
Nice. Look at those knife skills. Goodness me. Let's go.
So when
fresh parsley.
All right, so no, we have to wrap this up, you know. So let's do the mixing quickly so we can taste that tartar sauce.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, so I'm
right,
a little too visually excited here. Maybe I should move away from the food. This is a bit too much for me. All right.
While he's mixing that up, I'd like to show everyone our finished throw pillowcase.
Wow!
Yes.
Very
one I made
cute.
earlier on.
And it looks so colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was a T-shirt.
Yeah, this was
and
an
now
old
it's a
t-shirt.
pillow.
Yeah, I've had like this shirt for like a really long time. And
Okay.
I decided, you know what? Let's create a pillowcase from it.
Oh, it's so cute though. So cute. So is this
now-
mine? Is this mine?
No, it's mine.
Wow.
It's for Eliana.
Yeah.
All right, so chicken and sauce is ready.
This is it. Thank you so much, Chef Alex. You should try this at home, people. Try and make this. So,
Cornflakes.
am I allowed? Should I use my hand?
Oh yes,
should,
please.
right?
Please, you can use your hand.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Ooh. Okay,
I
straight in
envy
the
you
sauce.
right now, Titi.
I know.
Look at that. Please tell us how it tastes.
Okay, so this is where we take the program to a close.
Yes. It's been a pleasure having you all join us. And thank you to all our amazing guests. You all have been wonderful. Thank you so much.
A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories. We appreciate you. You've been there year in, year out for us, and we know the love. We appreciate the love. Now, all our guests on the show were fantastic.
Yes,
today.
they were.
Yeah, the chef was also fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.